Feel free to check out my TeePublic after the video. Up next in Toho's kaiju catalog is Mothra. Much like Rodan, she would also become a fan favorite and would get a spot in Toho's Big Five. Yeah, who would have thought that a giant butterfly of all things would make one of the best monsters seen in film? Now, if you're a really die-hard monster fan, you might have noticed I skipped the Three Treasures, which featured Orochi, as well as the Mysterians, which featured Mothra. I'll probably make videos on those in the future, but for this review series, I'll mainly be sticking with films that share continuity with other Godzilla movies. Based on the serial novel The Luminous Fairies and Mothra, Mothra would be directed by Ishiro Honda, and although it may follow a similar premise as Godzilla and Baron, there is a bit of a twist in Mothra. This time, the titular creature is actually a protector and places more emphasis on the cruelty and greed of man. It's about a reporter named Zenichiro Fukuda, aka Bulldog, played by Japanese comedian Frankie Sakai, who is probably the best character in this entire film, with photographer Michi Hanamura, played by Kyoko Kagawa, as they try to get a scoop on an incident involving the destruction of the Danigenyo Maru from a typhoon, as the surviving sailors are affected by radiation sickness. Then a scientific expedition to Infant Island, led by the film's antagonist Jerry Ito's Clark Nelson, is started. This expedition also includes Dr. Harada, played by Ken Yuhara, and Shinichi Chujo, played by Hiroshi Koizumi. On Infant Island, they find not only vampire plants and natives, but also two tiny women known as the Shobijin, played by the Peanuts Yumi and Emi Ito. Nelson, being the film's antagonist to symbolize the greed and arrogance of mankind, kidnaps the women and tries to get money off of them, which angers their goddess Mothra, who hatches from an egg and is summoned by the Shobijin to save them. Much like how Rodan is a testament to the monster's popularity, the same can be said for Mothra, as she would go on to appear in many Godzilla films, starting with Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Ebirah Horror of the Deep, Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla vs. Mothra, GMK, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, Godzilla Final Wars, and finally Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh, and she got a so-so trilogy in the 90s. And much like how Godzilla symbolized the dangers of nuclear weaponry, Mothra and Rodan are essentially metaphors for natural disasters such as tsunamis and hurricanes, since those are common tragedies Japan has to face. But Mothra does have some association with nuclear weapons, as her home Infant Island is contaminated with radiation. I remember watching this in my senior year of high school with some classmates, and we all had a great time with it. I feel that this is a movie that anyone can enjoy, with its fun and memorable characters, impressive special effects for the time, and especially that iconic Mothra song. I feel that the original Godzilla should only be watched with a certain mindset, and Rodan if you're looking for something with a horror-esque edge. Mothra is a film that you can just watch and have fun with no matter what. And some of you may not know this, but there actually is an alternate ending to Mothra. Basically, the main characters chase Nelson to a mountainside with the police while Mothra is still in her cocoon. Later, Mothra would come out in adult form and kill Nelson before returning to Infant Island. This ending was changed at the request of Columbia Pictures, who would be distributing it in the US. Funny enough, a good portion of the original ending was actually filmed, and consisted of throwing a dummy down a volcanic crater to replicate Nelson's demise after being blown off by Mothra's wings. The secondary unit crew never recovered the dummy, and was then found by a group of climbers and police believing that it was an actual person who attempted suicide. After discovering that it was a dummy, Toho was met with some anger. That's all I have for today's History of Godzilla. Thank you for watching, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later.